Dizzy from the way this world is turning, turning. Different from the way our mothers told us. Can't seem to figure out which way is up or down. Can you point me in the right direction now? We're all just trying to find our place, but each day could go a million ways. I guess we're all running the same race. We'll make it up as we go.
Hey guys, my name's James.
And I'm Ashley.
3 years ago, we sold our house and we've been traveling across the country ever since.
Hi, I'm Goose. I'm Ashley.
Join us! So this morning, we are actually headed back down to go pick up the kids from the family, the in-laws down in Oregon. But before we leave, there's one more thing we want to take care of on this wall to get it as watertight as possible for when we're gone, because you never know here when it might rain, but also to keep the critters out. So up here, if we look on top here, there is that seam along the ridge where the house wrap, which has the plywood underneath it, meets the edge of the metal roof. And because there's no gable really, there's no overlap other than maybe like a half an inch, maybe an inch if we're lucky, I really want to seal up that area to make it as watertight as possible. So the idea I came up with, because this is such a unique situation and I've hardly seen this anywhere I can find online. I'm sure there is. If there is, leave me a link down below, but I couldn't find it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this same metal the same flashing that we have around here, this flashing tape. I'm going to put that same thing along the entire top of the ceiling, or the entire top of the wall where the metal roof meets the house wrap. And then that way the metal roof, any water that gets on that, will go over the top of the crack and onto the top side of the house wrap versus onto the plywood, or even worse, inside the house onto the insulation. I'm also going to do that same thing along the outer edge here, right here underneath the trim where it meets the metal siding on the outside. So that's my plan. That's what I'm going to do. I also do plan on doing some more waterproofing on the actual trim pieces once we put those up, but for the interior kind of like vapor barrier, that's my plan there. Again, if you have done something differently or have other suggestions, let me know, because it's never too late for us to go back and modify some things if this will cause issues. But a lot of people that I've seen don't even do this step, but I definitely want to try and keep as many critters and water out as possible, and I think this is a good solution for that. So the first thing I'm doing is just removing all of this putty sealant stuff that they had up here before. This is what sealed the trim to the metal roofing here. But since I'm going to be putting the tape right on this spot here and then wrapping it around down to the trim, or to the house wrap like that, I want this to be as clean a surface as possible. Thankfully, it's actually coming up fairly easily. I was a little worried about how difficult this was going to be to remove.
All right, so one thing that I don't think we have told you is that the kids have been gone for a week, which is forever. The reason we did this is because getting this, getting this put up with children would not have been an easy feat. And it was something that we wanted, even though I have one up on the roof that's throwing things at me, we wanted to get this done before the rain came, and the rain is supposed to be coming end of next week. So we just needed to get this put up so that way we can take care of the inside and not worry about the rain and moisture and wetness and all of that crud just getting in and ruining what we're trying to do. So I'm super excited that we have a door and it's a frame. It's not a garage door anymore. However, I miss my kids and I am so ready to go see them. And I feel like they're ready to see us. However, they just got dropped off at Aunt Cece's so they can ride horses for a while. So now I'm not sure if they want to see us anymore. I guess we'll find out. But I miss them and I'm so excited to go and see them.
They say that nothing good comes easy, but they said that it's worth the fight. I'm tired of turning the page to see it in hindsight. sight. I've never been a man to make plans. I like to take life as it comes, but now I see clear that I want you here for good. Maybe it's as simple as we've made it, and maybe it's just time to stop looking around. Tell me I'm the one, tell me I'm loved, tell me you're oh so certain. Take a deep breath, you've been coming undone, searching for someone. Tell me it's real, tell me it's fake. This is the curtain call. A life has begun, so tell me you're done, searching for someone.
All right, guys, now that the house is all watertight once again, I am headed into town bright and early this morning because I need to pick up a rental trailer and fill it up with some gravel, which is for some exciting news that is happening back up at the property. The reason I'm having to do this so last minute is we got a phone call yesterday from our well company saying that they had an opening slot and we didn't have to wait another 2 to 3 weeks to get our well drilled, and they were able to squeeze us in this weekend. So I'm having to get at least 10 yards of gravel and lay it down so they can back in their giant well drilling truck. And I cannot tell you how exciting that is to get water 3 weeks earlier than we thought we were going to get. So pumped about this. No pun intended. And just like that, 2 days later, the well is dug and completed. We hit water at 150 feet, which is exactly what we were hoping for. We were worried that we'd have to go down to 300 feet like some of our neighbors, which would have been exponentially more expensive. So we are so stoked that we hit water at 150 feet, but now it's on to the next step. Nice work, Mav.
Next turn after you. Stop.
All right, Goose's turn.
I don't know why, but it's way fun.
Got my little carpenters. Nice work.
All done.
But now it's on to the next step. Since the well is dug and ready to go up there, we now have to trench 2 feet deep, 18 inches to 2 feet deep, from up at the pump house all the way down here to the actual house, which is approximately 150 to 175 feet, which is a lot of trench to dig. I am so thankful that our awesome neighbor Fred said that he would let us use his backhoe. Not only let us use, but he would come up and help us with it. So not only are we getting his tools, but we're getting his manpower. So a huge thank you to our neighbor for letting us use your tractor and your backhoe, because this next step would have been far more difficult without you.
I couldn't fake this, I wouldn't know where to start. You've got your flag stuck firm in my heart. Life is so crazy when you've got so much to lose. But when I'm with you, there's nothing I have to prove. Sand castles in June, sand castles in June. No clouds overhead and nothing to block the view. Sand castles in June, sand castles in June. No time but right now, and no one but me and you. Oh. I couldn't take it, I wouldn't know what to do if you ever decided it was too good to be true. Loving is easy when you've got no worries.
It's only been about an hour or so and we have already made some amazing progress. As you can see, we've got about 30 to 40 feet of trench dug already, and man, this ground has a lot of roots in it, as you guys have seen. But things are going smoothly. And while Fred is up here continuing to dig the trench, I'm actually gonna head down to the house and start working on a project down there. So this is our back / side porch, and as you can see, it's kind of become a catch-all for all of our stuff that we want to have under cover, because this is our only covered area other than obviously being inside of the shop or inside of the actual house that we're working on. So a lot of stuff like our bicycles, the metal siding that we took off the side of the house, all that's kind of ended up over here. But I am very excited because today we are trying to dig our trench and then attach our 1-inch PVC or PEX pipe actually that is coming up from our well to our house, which is like one of the last steps before we can finally have running water, which I am so excited for. But in order to do that, the entrance point for the PEX piping into the house is about right here underneath the porch, which means all of that flooring, all of that decking needs to be removed so we can get underneath there and dig down 2 feet deep, as well as just find where that PEX pipe is coming into the house exactly. So I would love to not have to move all of this 4-inch PVC pipe, which we are actually going to transition from originally, which we thought we were going to use for our rain catch system, which frustratingly enough got denied by the county, to being used for drainage for the RV up there. We're basically going to have full hookups up top next to the well house. So not only are we going to put up 30 amp power up there, but we're going to have a sewer hookup that will attach directly to our septic system. So that's what we're going to repurpose all this PVC pipe for. So I'm glad that it's not going to waste. A little frustrated that we weren't able to do the rain catch system, but at least we are salvaging that.
All we have is nothing, sometimes nothing's all you need. When you're stripped of all your armor, you can finally feel the breeze. We're living in the moment. We ain't got pockets full of money, but we're rich in other things. This highway is our living room, we're swimming in the mystery. We're living in the moment. We were born with gold on the inside, gold on the inside. We're alive, we're sipping on sunshine. We wanna taste of this world as the offer. Unafraid, we were made to wander. We will never let it go to waste. No, we're never gonna let it fade. We wanna taste of this world as the offer. When we run out of wine, we'll be sipping on sunshine. Sipping on sunshine. If we can afford.
Alright guys, it has been a long morning / afternoon. So we got the entire trench dug, at least a minimum of 18, but most of it is actually 24 inches deep. So we are golden there. The only issue is this last 12 feet or so to about right here, we're either gonna have to go rent a trencher or I'm gonna have to do by hand. Since I'm cheap, I might lean towards doing it by hand, but also the other issue is we are not even 100% sure yet if this is where the old water line comes into the house. And that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to tap into the old water line. Because for those of you that don't know, the property actually originally had a shared well, and so it had water running to it. It was all plumbed for the single bathroom that was in there. But the well rights went away when the property was sold, so we had to dig a new well, and we're having to reattach our well to where the water line comes in here. Unfortunately, the county records don't show where it is, but the previous owner says she thinks this is where it comes in the house. So fingers crossed this is where it actually is, because I'm ripping up this entire deck. Now granted, we were going to redo this deck anyway, so all this had to come up at some point, but I'm really hoping once I get this wood up here, we can find the water line and everything will work as planned. But that's what we're working on right now. Getting up this last piece of wood so we can have some fresh water. Well, fortunately I'm not seeing anything. I'm gonna go a little bit deeper, see if anything shows up, but I'm afraid it might come in from the other side of the house. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Remember, stay positive, get out there. Life is an adventure, so make some memories.